Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's so nice to have you here with us today. This is USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads. And a big hello to our friends on Business Talk Radio listening out of New York. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. Joining me as always is my friend, colleague, and co-host, Mr. Philip Sykes. Welcome to the program.
Wonderful to see you, Dr. Jacalyn. As always, I so look forward to this Friday get together and this wonderful opportunity to obviously engage with you as always, but also a wonderful audience that take the time and make the effort to engage with us and listen to what we have to share. So wonderful to be here.
Well, thank you, Philip, and thank you to the British School of Excellence. We learn so much every week. I've gotten really wonderful feedback from people of all of the tips that they take away from this program. So I thank you, because it's all about knowledge. It's all about elevating our awareness about how to interact with other people, as well as how to find inner peace within ourselves by doing the right thing and lifting others up. Wouldn't you agree?
Completely. And I think, really more so now than ever before, if we really take on board that word, the power of etiquette and manners, the importance of our emotional intelligence. And Dr. Jacalyn, just what you run so beautifully is the Power of Listening course, which I've had the privilege of starting the journey on, and I'm yet to complete. But, this is what this is all about, the art of communication, the art of connecting, the art of really taking on board what people are engaging with, how they're engaging with you, and how they're sharing things with you, so that we can then reciprocate on a very dynamic level. I think this is what it's all about. And it's really interesting, because later on in the new year, I really want to bring on a wonderful old friend of mine and a work colleague. We talk about hospitality intelligence, and I would love all of you to just think of that for just a split second, or even a couple of seconds. Hospitality intelligence. When we go out there and we make an effort to engage with people as if we were welcoming them into our home and having that mindset and attitude, think of what you could achieve through your life. And that obviously would incorporate your beautiful, elegant manners, your etiquette, listening and really engaging with people on a very dynamic and deep level, rather than just sort of engaging on a very flippant, not very present sort of level. So I really urge all of you out there to just simplify your lives and take more time to be more present, take more time to understand the power of etiquette and manners, the power of listening and growing and developing your emotional intelligence.
Really good advice and direction. Thank you so much. And Philip, I'm going to put you on spotlight again, and I'd really love for you to share a little bit with our audience. Maybe they're tuning in for the first time. What do you offer at the British School of Excellence? What can people expect by partnering with you?
Super. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Right, for the newcomers, a very warm welcome. For those of you who've had the opportunity to take our show in on numerous occasions, there's a bit of repetition here. But at the British School of Excellence, we've pivoted from the British School of Etiquette for one main reason, and that is because we really do take a deep dive into being excellent. And through our research and our development, we've really taken this down to the wire and really looked at it. My colleague Richard Cullinan, who heads up our EQ faculty, possibly one of the most dynamic individuals when it comes to, well, many things, but emotional intelligence is his area of unbelievable expertise. We take deep dives into marrying the power of etiquette and manners, the importance of emotional intelligence, the importance of listening. And we really put some serious flesh on the bone through all our training, coaching, and development. And we start with our Kiddie Kit program, which is for children really roughly from 6 years old, moving to roughly 10, 11, 12 years old, and then into mindset and manners. Mindset and manners focuses on our teenagers, and that there in itself really does focus obviously on the manners, but real mindset development. So many youngsters out there right now are really struggling to put their best foot forward. They're bamboozled by what's going on in this world. They've obviously been exposed to a period of life, the last 24 months, where they've had to, I suppose, re-look at life and reinvent life, and I think lacking a lot of opportunities and experience that they would have normally attained over the last few years. So mindset and manners is very, very deep and powerful. And funny enough, many people start off on our mindset and manners, and then their teenagers have enjoyed it so much that they come on private one-on-one coaching. We then go into our business development and business excellence program, which is known as the Polished Professional. So for anybody out there leaving university, starting a job, anyone within their own business, in a position in an organization, no matter what level you are, the Polished Professional will absolutely add some incredible tools to your arsenal, to your repertoire, and to being able to give you that confidence to put your best foot forward. We then run our Train the Trainer program, which is a 5-day program where, again, all our courses are accredited, and the Train the Trainer really focuses on giving you those skills and the mindset and the opportunity to basically walk away developing and being able to deliver a lot of what we deliver out of our organization. We give you everything. We don't hide anything from anyone who comes through any of our programs. And then, as I mentioned earlier, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence for me, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely the pillar. It is the deep, deep roots that we all need and we all should work on, because when you do that, you will blossom like the most beautiful cherry blossom tree in that springtime in Japan, that I can assure you. So as I mentioned earlier, Richard Cullinan heads up our EQ faculty. We start off with various EQ options. One of them is we've recently just launched our EQ personal coaching platform. So you can sign up on a one-on-one basis with Richard. You can do the EQ 101 program, which is our 5-week program. And then there's the About Me. For those of you out there who really would love to know more about yourselves, and we do think we know a lot about ourselves, but we actually don't. So the About Me takes a really wonderful dive into giving you phenomenal tools to look at yourself a lot closer. And in doing that, you can put your best foot forward. And then again, there are some other business courses and coaching that we offer. So that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to bore you anymore with what we do. Take a look at the website, thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And if we can help you in any way, then do reach out to us, please.
Thank you so much. That's really important information as we move forward into 2022, and we want to always improve ourselves, always grow, always educate and learn as much as we can. So your school is offering wonderful courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
So you brought a phenomenal guest today. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, many years ago, I had the privilege, I get to work, Dr. Jacalyn, and you are 100% in this camp, with the most incredible people globally. And many years ago, an amazing woman all the way from Brazil reached out to our organization with the view to come over to London and train and coach to become part of, learn the Train the Trainer method that we deliver and offer. And her name is Patricia Junqueira. She is based out of Sao Paulo in Brazil, and she popped over to the UK, a big investment, and went back to Brazil with the view and the intention to launch the British School of Etiquette Brazil. Patricia has got an incredible background in corporate, but then has always had a passion for showing and teaching people how to really put their best foot forward. And I was then invited to go and spend some time in 2018 at Forum Eventos in Brazil, which was a phenomenal global stage where leaders from all over the world were present, and I had again the opportunity to stand on the stage working with Patricia. We talked about the importance of your reputation and change, how fundamental reputation is, how fundamental it is that we put our best foot forward. And as I mentioned to you in the holding room earlier, Dr. Jacalyn, Patricia has put her heart and soul into this organization in Brazil and is doing phenomenal things back in Brazil. So it's such a joy to have her on the show today.
Let's bring her out. Welcome to the program.
Hello, it's nice to be here. Thank you, Philippe and Dr. Jacalyn, for the opportunity to be here and share some contents on how etiquette can develop people and change lives. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you.
Well, the pleasure is ours. As I mentioned, we always love to learn and we love to hear from people like you who have had an amazing journey. So, before we get into any specifics about what you're doing today, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your journey? Philip had indicated it hasn't always been smooth sailing, right? For all of us, we always have things that we have to overcome. What has your journey been like?
So I'm working for a long time in marketing in great companies, in big companies here in Brazil, and also have an international career. And it's been 7 years that I'm entrepreneur, and I choose etiquette to change lives. And then I met Philip in this journey, and now I'm the founder of the Escola Brasileira de Etiqueta, is Brazilian, the Brazilian office of the British School of Excellence. And we develop here people, as Philip mentioned, and he makes this in England. We do this in Brazil. So we develop people to work with etiquette, the people that wants to be an etiquette consult, and also people that want to develop themselves to achieve the success. Learning etiquette, use etiquette here in Brazil, as Felipe use in England, as a tool of life. So you used to say that etiquette is for all, no matter if you're rich or poor, how old you are or where you live. Etiquette can be learned, and it's more a lifestyle than simple rules. That's because we need to choose to have etiquette every day. We make choices every day, and this choice make you who I am, make my image, the image that I have, build my reputation. I can't say I have more or less etiquette. I'm informal today, or I only have etiquette when I'm in a fancy meeting, for example, because etiquette is a choice of life that you make every day. So I choose to be kind. I choose to be grateful. I choose to look at the others. I choose to consider the others, to be empathic, so and so on. So it's something that I have every day, and I choose every day. It's something that I choose to be. And now we start the end of to be, not to have. And this is what we work here in Brazil, using the etiquette as a tool of life.
Thank you so much. That was really great information. And you brought up something I think is really important, and I think we should focus on it a little bit. There are times in life when I'm just thinking back over past decades. You put on a suit, you put on a dress, you've got someplace you have to go. Maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a funeral. And you are supposed to act a certain way. So you take out of your bag your manners, you put your manners and etiquette outfit on, and you say, okay, I'm going to act a certain way. And then when the event's over, you go back to, oh, I'll just be whatever way I was. And I think you bring up something really important, is that it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice to live a life that is filled with manners and etiquette. What are your thoughts? I'll start with Philip.
I just, you can see how incredibly polished Patricia is in her view on this particular subject, because so many people think, oh, etiquette, it's for the posh people, and oh my hat, I've got to put my best behavior on because I've got to behave in such a way. It is so far removed from that. Every single one of us, just what Patricia was saying, you can come from any walk of life, any background. You can be born into the poorest family in the world to the most wealthy family in the world. None of this makes any sense to you if you don't find and choose to find that journey in life of this lifestyle choice. You choose to be happy, you choose to be kind, you choose to be considerate, and there's a consistency to this. It's almost like when you get out of bed in the morning, you're going to put your best foot forward. So be the best you can possibly be, and bring your energy every single day. We need to show up. And I know we all have curveballs thrown at us in life. We do. That's life. Okay. I can share with the audience that I've had a challenging week. But you know what? It doesn't stop me trying to put my best foot forward. And then there are tools out there that can really help you, to stop, pause, take a breath. Dr. Jacalyn and Patricia, you've heard me say this on many, many occasions. And for those out there that listen to us on a regular basis, I adopt the 6-second rule on a regular basis just to reset myself and say, okay, I've had this bit of a frustration. I mean, just yesterday I was held on the phone for an hour and a half to get through to speak to a customer service team in an organization. You can imagine by that, I mean, after 30 minutes, I'm starting to spit feathers. And after an hour, I'm spitting more feathers. And after an hour and a half, I want to take on Mike Tyson in a boxing ring with no gloves. But when that other person answers the telephone, do I give him all the gears, or do I pause and say, thank you for answering the phone, may I have your name, please? And then I engage with him with the right respect that that person deserves. They're doing a job. He didn't personally keep me waiting. He is not the person responsible for the challenge I'm facing with the organization. So this is how I want all of us as human beings start to set our mindsets in that direction.
Thank you, Philip. I have an add-on comment to that. I can completely relate to what you're saying. And we actually have a role play in The Power of Listening about customer service calls. Yesterday, I had to call about my car. The engine light is on, and I called the dealership. And, you go through press 1, press 2, then you get somebody, then they transfer you to somebody who hangs up on you and you have to call. This went back and forth, back and forth. So I had to call 4 different times. So by the time they answered the phone, plus you see the check engine light, you think to yourself, is the car going to explode? Like, what's going to happen? And I was really, getting very upset. And then the person I finally got on the phone couldn't have been any nicer. She wasn't supposed to answer the phone. That wasn't her department, but she picked it up. And she was so kind and so gracious that it really changed the dynamics around. So one person really can make a difference in how they react in that moment. Patricia, what are your thoughts?
Exactly. I think that's the point. When the people make contact with you, in the phone, she's not looking at you, but if she smile or he smile, we can feel this. And I used to say that in pandemic, the pandemic make us make choice every day. The choice to be happy, to sing, to learn, or to stay in the TV watching bad news. We choose how to lead our lives, how to fulfill ourselves in a creative way. We have to be very creative, and how to relate and who to relate, So we make choices every day. And the choice that I made to be happy in a phone, even when a customer or a person are very nervous, it can change people's life. It can change. We don't know what kind of life, the problem or day that people are having. So it's our responsibility to make that life better. And for me, this is etiquette. I choose to be happy, to look at the others, to change my life and to change the life of others around me.
Thank you. And another comment that I'd like to have just discuss is, first of all, I have the utmost respect for people who are in customer service. That is a tough job, right? All day long, people calling, they possibly are complaining. So I think we also have to realize that anytime we engage with someone, we are representing our brands. Maybe it's not our own business. Maybe we work for someone. So that person in customer service is representing that company, that organization. And your engagement with someone could be the difference between them continuing to be a customer or a client or them going somewhere else. Philip, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. And that goes back to that wonderful, wonderful saying by Maya Angelou: people will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that for me is, honestly, it is all about feeling and emotion. Think about, that's why I go back to hospitality intelligence. Think about how you make someone feel. Where are you going to end up going? You might not have the best plate of food in a particular restaurant, for example, but if you've been given the most incredible attention and the most wonderful service, and you were made to feel very, very special, you're going to go back to that restaurant and give them another opportunity because of the way you were made to feel. And it's not just in restaurant. Don't everyone must move this out of hospitality intelligence. Doesn't pertain to hotels and restaurants. Hospitality is in everything we do. Everything we do. And that is really about putting your best foot forward. And just what you were both saying, Dr. Jacalyn, it's not just this customer service person, it's anybody answering that telephone in an organization. How do you answer that phone? Am I pushing my voice out beautifully? Am I answering with that smile that Patricia mentioned earlier? Am I bringing my energy onto the telephone and through the telephone? And many years ago, funny enough, I was working with a wonderful high-end brand here in the United Kingdom, working with their luxury sales teams who work with customers and clients. And one of the head of human development within that organization remembers walking into a store in the USA and the store person saying, I've just seen at your eyes seen something that you can't live without. And I just love that energy. That was just a lovely way of, coming across to a client, coming across to a customer. And the other one was also phoning an amazing company in the United States. And the woman answered the phone, hello, how can I make your day? Obviously gave her name, but how can I make your day? And that for me was a real wow moment. And it hooked me. So these are memorable sort of scenarios that you will always take on board.
Very good point. Patricia, would you like to add something to that?
Yes, I learned with Philip when I've been in studying with him in London that we have 5 seconds to impress someone. In 5 seconds, people judge you if you are good or not, if they want to speak to be with you or not, if you want to make a deal with you or not. So your image, how you connect, the way you call a person, a waiter, or someone that you met, everything, the way you are dressed, your posture, how do you shake your hands or not, if you are doing something like that, or if you are calm, with gentle movements. So all of this make an impression of you. People have in 5 seconds, people take a look of you and she decides if you want to be with you, to talk with you, to make business or deals with you or not. So it's very important to take care of our image in all senses, because it's not only how you dress, it's all together, your dress, how you walk, the tone of your voice, how are you relate with people. So it's okay, it's giving me some noise here. So all of this will make difference in your image, in your reputation, and you will connect to people or not. Another thing that you used to say here is your culture and your speech. You have to speak things that connect with people. It's important, and we work here in Brazil, culture, history, and repertory. For you to sit in the table or in a conversation, you're not talking about traffic, the crisis, the pandemic, and things that do not connect to people. When we arriving home and you said for your husband, your wife, oh, I met a wonderful person today, it's because that people, the person connected to you. She had some different conversation. She brings you something very special. What kind of conversation that people brings to you, that connect to you and make you feel comfortable, happy, you learn something with that person. So all of this make your image, and these people will decide that to be with you or not.
I love that. That's really spot on. And something that came to my mind is, as we meet new people or as we engage in personal meetings, business meetings, whether it's online or whether it's actually in person, sometimes people run late, right? Sometimes we show up late. And I'm just wondering if you can comment, both of you, on whether or not when a person shows up late, because we've seen this many times, and they start giving you all the reasons why they're late. So they show up 10 minutes late. Oh, my car broke down. Oh, this happened, that. What's the proper way to enter into a meeting or into a room when you are late? I'll start with Philip.
What's the proper way when you're late? Well, firstly, I always have maybe it's a cliched sort of saying, be 1 hour early rather than 1 minute late. Because even if it's a 10 o'clock meeting and the meeting starts at 10 o'clock and you walk in at 10 o'clock, you're still late. You should ultimately get there 10 minutes before, get set up and get ready to rock and roll. And just as we were talking last week, Dr. Jacalyn, with Lorene Phillips in Bermuda, you know, this whole idea of you checking your equipment for online courses and conference calls and that sort of thing. It's all about being punctual and being very, very present. But when we do have curveballs thrown at us, there can be a serious traffic jam or something like that. I mean, ideally prepare in advance and be ready to sort of get ahead of yourself and get there early. But if you are late, I think just tonality is very important. Being humble, you know, being very polite and just saying, I'm awfully sorry, I'm so late. And maybe you don't necessarily need to go into a whole journey of why you're late. You can just apologize. Don't make a big song and dance of it. Let them continue with their meeting. And then at the end, maybe, you know, I would approach the chairperson or the host and just say, look, this is what happened to me. And as I said, I do apologize. And then move on from it. Don't keep apologizing. I think so many of us make that mistake of keep apologizing, boom, boom. And it just digs you a hole. We apologize and we move forward. And that's my guidance on this particular one.
Thank you, Philip. And Patricia?
I think Philip talks very, very nice about this theme. So what I used to say is you have to arrive as a ghost. It doesn't interrupt people. People are making a presentation or talking. We don't know when we arrive late what happened in that room or that place or that restaurant. So just say hi, sit as a ghost, and waiting for the properly time to start to talk, to understand what happens, feel how is the energy, if people are okay, if people are nervous, if they are discussing some hot or not, and feel the properly moment for you to start to interact, and then say hello for everybody. I'm sorry for I'm late, and that's okay.
I love that expression about arrive as a ghost. I've
Yeah.
never heard that before. That's brilliant.
Yeah, because if you arrive and say, oh, hello, I'm sorry, I'm late, blah blah blah, you interrupt. Maybe people are discussing something important. It's the same when a family are, you're not late in this case, but if I'm a family or friends are in a table in the restaurant and you find someone and goes there, interrupted the meal, interrupted the conversation, you don't know if it's properly what they are discussing in that table of restaurant. So just say hi and go to your table. I really like to be like a ghost. You need to know, to feel the exactly moment for you to interact or not.
Wonderful. And also, just to close that, people already know you're late, right? It's obvious that you're late.
Yeah.
And so when you start giving a lot of explanations, then you're drawing attention to yourself. And once again, now you're taking it away from whatever was being discussed. So I really love that as the ghost. I'm going to remember that.
It's delightful. Absolutely delightful. It's the first time I've heard that approach, but I love it.
Yeah.
And again, I just would love to add one thing on that is read the room, and maybe you don't even need to open your mouth at that point in time because you would be interrupting, and then you would put all the sort of focus on you. So again, read the room, as Patricia said, read the room, assess it, and then, you know, arrive like that ghost. I love that approach.
Another question I have, why I have you two experts here, is if you have people in your life who are not leading a life that is filled with etiquette and manners, let's say that, how do you bring this to their attention? Or do you just let them act whatever way they act and you continue acting in a mannerly way? Or do you kind of eliminate them from your lives?
Patricia, do you want to answer that, or should I go?
Okay, thank you, Philip. So here in Brazil, we are learning how to have etiquette in few years. We don't use it to have these rules as we have in Europe, for example. So, and I live this every time, because when I arrive someplace now that I'm the the Brazil, the British School of Excellence in Brazil, people say, "Oh, I'm afraid to be your friend. I'm afraid to eat with you. I don't know how to do things." And I always say, feel free, be comfortable, be yourself. It's everything okay. You don't have to know the rules that I know, and if you want to know, I can teach you. I used to play. I can give some tips, and I used to sell the this. So for now, it's free. Feel free to feel comfortable to be with me, and this is the way that we have to interact with people that don't know the rules of etiquette, because I don't know everything. I don't know. I will make mistakes in a moment, because I'm not expert in all the areas in the world. So we have to respect people. People has different culture, different history, different visions of life, different education. I don't have to expect that people behavior as I would like them to do. So I think etiquette is to look at the others, to respect, to be empathic. And here in Brazil, we are learning how to do this. So that's it. If people don't know the rules of etiquette, this is not a problem. We have to feel the heart of the person. If she is a nice person, she wants to be with you, to share something with you, I don't know, the rules of etiquette will be most important than the heart of the person. I think this is the thing that we have to have in mind. We have to learn, we have to improve ourselves, we have to cut ourselves as a diamond. I think everyone has to look forward to be your best version, to have a good image, to develop yourself, to have conscience of yourself. But I can't expect this for the other person, because everyone is in its level, and I am not a perfect person. So that's what I think. I don't know, Philip, if you want to complement with something else.
Definitely. I love what you're sharing there. And again, everyone should never sort of be on edge or eggshells, or feel like they're walking on thin ice when they're around anyone who acts beautifully or behaves in a certain way. I think you have the opportunity to influence, you have the opportunity to show them the power of etiquette and manners. And we as an organization, we talk about what are the benefits of emotional intelligence, and what are the benefits of etiquette and manners, and what are the benefits of really engaging with someone on a personal level, where you really listen and understand. And when people see you conduct yourself in a certain way, I'm praying and hoping that they are being influenced in a lovely way of saying, wow, there's something different about that individual. There's something amazing about that person. And, when you look at what these benefits are, they're all about helping you earn respect. They charm and enhance your personality. They make your relationship so much smoother. They increase your confidence. It's that savoir-faire, knowing what to do in any given situation. That savoir-faire, that you have that toolbox, a little arsenal, where you go, oh, I'm walking into this situation, I'm going to dig into my toolbox and I'm going to engage in that particular way. Or I'm going into this situation and I'm going to engage in that sort of way. So there's that amazing confidence element. Again, this is something which we really started off with at the beginning of this program, is about being happy. They keep you motivated and happy. You can shift your mindset by digging into your toolbox again. And then the final thing that good etiquette and manners and EQ will help you hands down is imparting that strength to digest failure. Just where Patricia just said, we're human beings, we make mistakes. And I think this is really, really powerful. And, I have a book here in front of me. I mean, it literally is falling apart. For those of you who are listening on the radio, on the whatever, who can't see what I'm holding up, I'm holding a book here, the Book of Etiquette. And this was written by Lady Trowbridge. And I mean, literally, it is falling apart. And I've glued it together. But, this book was first printed back in 1926, and I just love this. And I would love to just take this opportunity to open and just read the foreword in this particular book. And it really is, and I'm not going to bore you with this too much, but etiquette may be defined as the technique of the art of social life. For various and good reasons, certain traditions have been handed down, just as they are in any other art, science, or department of life. And only very thoughtless persons could consider unworthy of notice that set of rules which guides us in our social relations to each other. And it goes on to say, please notice the word guide, for that is the very root of the matter. Books on etiquette are guides, and they are not regulations to be followed blindly without understanding their meaning and with a grasp only of the letter and not of the spirit. And she continues, in this lovely forward. And it really is that straightforward. I have another amazing little book which would have been given to a gentleman on his 18th birthday. And this little book here, again, for those of you who have not got the opportunity to see us online on the screen, this book was handed to Mr. Powell in 1870. And it is a guide for gentlemen. And I love the opening to this because it says, high birth and good breeding of the privileges of the few, but the habits and manners of a gentleman may be acquired by all, nor is their acquirement attendant with difficulty. Etiquette is not an art requiring the study of a lifetime. On the contrary, its principles are simple, and their practical application involves only ordinary care, tact, and sagacity. So these books, no one's reinventing a wheel here. These are phenomenal, real guides and tools that we can all incorporate and live a far more dynamic life if we do this, with intention.
Thank you so much for sharing those books. That was really fascinating.
They're incredible. They really are.
How long have you had them, Philip?
Actually, also who works for our organization, she found both these books at her mother-in-law's home. That obviously, her mother-in-law, I think, is in her 80s, and so these two books were on her shelf, and so she donated them to the British School of Etiquette, and now obviously the British School of Excellence.
Oh, that's fantastic! Congratulations, lovely gift. Well, I am surprised how quickly our show has flown by. I have so many more questions, but I'll just ask one more question, if that's okay.
Sure.
So as we come up to the holiday season, Philip and I have delved into this a little bit. The holidays are upon us. Some places people are already celebrating various holidays. And then, of course, Christmas is coming up and the new year. What are some great tips that you can both share when it comes to manners and etiquette when it is holiday functions, holiday parties, company parties? Sometimes we know there's stories, we watch movies, people have too much to drink, they're completely inappropriate, their behavior is not welcome. So not just focusing on that, but are there tips that you can share for holiday functions and get-togethers, whether personal or professional?
I'm going to give Patricia the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. I will give a tip for you, for all of you. So I have here, I don't know that you will make this this question, but I have here a lot of Christmas cards. We don't used to do this in Brazil anymore. So it's the fourth day that I don't know, that we engage people to send right letters and Christmas card in the end of the year, in the Christmas. I think this is the way to connect to people. In the past few 2 years, 1 year and a half, we are alone in home. So let's write Christmas card for the person that you love, to put it in a letter, in a handwritten letter, your thoughts, your feelings for that person. I'm sure that person, when receive this, she or he will be very happy, very happy. I think people are needing to connect, are needing to feel special. Sometimes we can make a hug, sometimes not. It depends on the person. So it depends on the occasion because of the pandemic. But letter, Christmas card, your love, a lovely letter, we can do it, and it costs so little bit. So it makes difference in people's life. for you to send a Christmas card. So I'm doing mine now. I was with my son doing this during the morning. So I encourage all of you to do the same.
That's a great tip. Thank you. And before I go to Philip, a comment that I'd like to add. There have been several times in my life when I've been involved with organizations, or maybe it was in my corporate career, where we actually wrote out Christmas cards, holiday cards that were for complete strangers. So they might be delivered to senior care homes or other places where people might not be getting any cards. And you just to get a card, if you are alone, remember there are plenty of people who are alone, right? Just to get a card from someone, just thinking of you, hoping that you have a good holiday season, whatever the case may be, I think is really nice. What are your thoughts on that, Patricia? Writing a card out for someone you might not know.
Yeah, sure. It will make difference in people's life, I'm sure. When you receive one and you can read, not only put the name and your signature, but read a letter, put something different. Here we have also, let me show you. We have, I don't know the name of this in English, we printed, we stamp, we really make a letter for people that will receive our Christmas cards, and we know that we expected this to be special for people and change lives, change the day of the person.
Yes, I love that because it really personalizes it even further. So thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that. Philip, what about your comments?
I just love where Patricia took that, because I think a lot of us do know that, overindulging in alcohol at the office party is going to could land up in a bit of a mess. People, there's that wonderful French phrase. I'm not going to say it in French, but literally, once you've got a few drinks under the belt, your lips become very, very loose, and you can sort of really trip yourself up. You get a bit sort of I think become quite bold, and the alcohol is doing the talking, but it's also sharing the thoughts you might have had within for many years or a period of time. So I think just with the holiday season and Christmas coming up, it's about being courteous, it's about being kind, and really I think let's all challenge ourselves to do something amazing each day. There's that wonderful on the X day of Christmas, my true love sent to me, and then let's start thinking about beautiful things we can do for other people. That lovely idea of a Christmas card to someone, that lovely idea of sending a Christmas card to people in old age homes. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, loneliness is one of the biggest challenges out there. Loneliness, as they say, is a killer. And there are so many people out there right now, more so than ever before, that are lonely, that don't have anyone to connect with and engage with. So, by sending them a beautiful card, and maybe a magazine that you might have finished with and send it with the card, or do something with thoughtfulness and kindness. Go out there and pay genuine compliments to people. Ask what you can do to help and make a difference in someone's life. And I really encourage all of you. We're going to be sending out various different things through the British School of Excellence over the next period, over the next each day and up until the build up to the 25th of December, of little tools and tricks and tips that you can incorporate into your life just to make that difference. And please share with us, share with us on the show some of the things that you do to help other people, or just do randomly. That random act of kindness, is something really powerful and key. So we can dig deep into this particular area, but I think at the end of the day, courtesy, kindness, consideration for others is what this is all about.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And I'd like to also add to anticipate that people are highly emotional and very stressed, right? All of us are going through things we've never gone through before. So I always say, if it's the 6-second rule, just understand that somebody might be expressing something that is just because they've been in a lockdown, or they're concerned about finances or the family's health or whatever the case may be, and just respond with grace. I think don't give them back what they're giving to you. If you can, just be kind and be sweet and understanding.
That's
Sure.
very powerful, very powerful. Easier said than done, but this does take practice. And then, you know, we create habits for ourselves. So everything is a process. You know, we don't get it right all the time. And every time we do open our mouths, let's stop, let's pause. You know, as you talk about in the art of listening, it's pausing, it's engaging. Am I really taking on board what the other person is saying to me? And then how can I respond? You know, and it's just as simple as, you know, Dr. Jacalyn, you mentioned something very clear and careful the other day on the course. And that is, when you pick up the telephone to somebody, for example, you don't just start talking at them. You ask them, is it convenient right now? Does it suit you for me to speak with you right now? Or would you prefer me to call you back? These are the little considerations that we need to take on board, because it's not about me. It's about other people. And this is really the attitude. The moment you adopt that in life, you'll be amazed at the doors that open for you. And, you know, let's go back to that wonderful Clarence Thomas expression saying, good manners will open doors that the best education cannot or will not. But I would caveat that. I'm going to put there, good manners will often, or good manners will usually open doors that the best education cannot, because education is key. We need to keep learning. We need to keep growing so that we can do so much for other people. So there's a clause there. But if you can't educate yourself and you can't keep reading books and things like that, bring your beautiful polished manners and those doors will open for you.
Well said. Well said. Patricia, I'll give you the last word on it.
Oh, what a responsibility. So I would like to share and to talk that etiquette is a choice that we make every day. So if you want to succeed, if you want to have a great family, a great life, you need to learn how etiquette can change your life, because you will connect from your heart. You will you will be your best version, and we will do what you born to do. So etiquette is a tool that changed my life, and we saw here in Brazil change people's lives, all of the students that are with us, and also the students that we training to teach etiquette, changing another's life. So I think this is a way that we will build another world, the better world that we want to live. We, each one of us, will build this. If we doesn't polite ourselves, cut ourselves as a diamond, we won't have a better world. So a better world starts with us. And the etiquette is the tool that can do it for you.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Oh, look, we have someone joining us today. Hello.
Holly, how are you?
Hi.
So nice.
This is the elf on the shelf I found in my office. It just appeared. And I know Harley just wanted to come and say hello to you all.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
It's Dr. Jacalyn. Say hello.
Hello.
And then you know
Hello.
Patricia, Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Holly.
Sweetheart.
So there's a little elf on the shelf. We've had big festivities going on here at home, decorations going on, and all these wonderful things happening. It's a big build up to the Christmas holidays.
That's very exciting. Thank you for being here. Patricia, I'm going to spotlight you, and we've been showing your contact information, but for people listening on Business Talk Radio, how can people reach out, and who would you like to reach out?
So they can reach us in the Instagram, Escola Brasileira de Etiqueta. Our website is also Escola Brasileira de Etiqueta.com.br, and the email contact @escolabrasileiradeetiqueta.com.br. Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much, and hopefully you'll come back and see us again. I know we're just touching the very surface of the level of knowledge you have.
Yeah, it will be a pleasure. Thank you, and thank you, Philip.
It's always a pleasure, Patricia. Obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good week. Bye-bye. And Philip, I'm going to spotlight you as well, if you can share your information for people listening on the radio.
Well, thank you all very much for taking the time to tune in today, whether it be on the digital platforms or on the radio. The best way to contact us is hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com, or you can have a look at our website, which is thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And please sign up to our newsletter. We don't spam anyone. We'll give you good content and material. Also, who works in the team is a phenomenal copywriter, and will share some amazing material with you. Richard writes up some incredible news and newsletters for the EQ department. So again, engage with us on this front, and we will be able to share some really wonderful insights into various topics and subjects. And then have a look at our YouTube channel, because on there you will notice and see that there's a lot of education and a lot of learning material that you can take away with you, which will absolutely enhance your life. So do not hesitate to reach out to us on any level, and we would make the time to spend time engaging with you and talking to you. So thank you again for listening, and wishing you all the most wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much, Philip. It's a pleasure having you. And thank you so much for bringing Patricia. She's fantastic. And hopefully she'll come back and join us again.
Super. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. A wonderful weekend as always.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of you who are watching live, and to those of you who watch on the replay. Please do go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and subscribe. You'll see that there are playlists, and each playlist contains the name of the show. We have about 20 different shows a week. So this is under the Power of Etiquette and Manners, or I should say it will be after tomorrow. Thank you. And we're coming right back with another program. We have a full day of shows. We're very excited, and we look forward to having you back with us at the top of the hour. Thanks again. Bye-bye.